our two-time NFL Super Bowl champion Logan Ryan tapping in fresh off of visiting up in the booth, expanding your role there. We're excited to have you back here on HQ, Logan, for some overreactions. You're going to tell us if you love the overreaction or if you hate what you're hearing. And we're going to start with your New England Patriots. I'll ask you point blank, is New England the best team in the AFC right now?
Well, yes, they are. I love this. I love this reaction right here. You said it, Haley. I was at this game. I was in the booth for this game. I prepared to call this game sitting down with Tony Romo and Jim Nance. And New England, this was a litmus test for them. They said their schedule was easy. They beat the Bills head-to-head. Other than that, pretty soft. But then they played Baker, coming off a bye week. And the Bucs really wanted that game. And they have Mike Vrabel right there on the screen. Heck of a coach, right? Not going to score on first down. Who does that for that not to give the ball back to Baker? And then Drake May, MVP candidate, legit as it gets. You look at his stats, his deep ball throwing, unbelievable. They have the #1 rush defense in football. It's like up there with the 2000 Ravens. So how they play right now defensively, solid. Christian Gonzalez, as good as any corner in football. Carlton Davis on the other side, the best duo in football. So they play great defense. They have a great head coach, and they have an MVP candidate at quarterback. That is legit as it gets. You have the Bills, obviously. The Patriots beat them head-to-head. That'll be another big matchup. You have the Colts, but I like the Patriots over the Colts right now. So the Patriots, to me, top team in the AFC. I love that take.
Did you find yourself in that game, and I know you're a consummate professional, did you find yourself leaning towards one team or the other in terms of if you were rooting? I mean, because those were both the teams that you'd played for, the Bucs and the Patriots.
Yeah, look, I had a blue CBS blazer. I wasn't working. I didn't wear it. I had a maroon red blazer. It's in the Bucs Stadium. I live in Tampa. I didn't wear that. I went with gray. I went all neutral. I was neutral as you're going to get. I played for Todd Bowles. I love Todd Bowles. I played with a lot of those Bucs players still. And then in New England, I didn't play with so many of these players because I played there a long time ago. But I played for Mike Vrabel. The entire staff's the Tennessee Titans staff, who I played for. And everyone else in the buildings, all the old trainers from New England that used to treat me. So it was like a big family reunion for me. I was as neutral as you can get. Gray on my colors was a suit choice.
This is why they pay you the big bucks. Our professional here covering your previous teams. By the way, the Patriots can join the 98-99 Colts as the only team in NFL history to go from a 13-loss to a 13-win year. That continues on Thursday Night Football, Pats Jets. Let's go over to the other side of this bracket, though, Logan, and talk about the Seahawks. Last night on our show, Game Day Recap, Pete Prisco said we were sleeping on Seattle. In fact, he said he believes right now they're the best team in the NFL. I won't put you in that box, but I'll ask you, are the Seahawks, do you love them or hate them in terms of being the best team in the NFC?
I haven't worked with Pete a lot this year, but one thing's still true. I'm disagreeing with him all the time. Terrible take. I hate that the Seahawks are the best team in the NFL or the best team in the NFC. Did anyone watch the Rams play last night? I mean, what they did to my Niners, they dismantled them. Matthew Stafford, I know he had it up there. He's an MVP candidate. What they have on offense, guarding both these guys, okay? Pete has not guarded a damn soul in his life. Puka Nacua is no joke to guard. We obviously know that. And then Devontae Adams in the red zone is a problem. You have the coaching with Sean McVay. I will take him with Kyle Shanahan in that division as the top two coaches. And I've slept on the Seahawks. They're solid. They're decent. Sam Darnold's playing well. He's a good quarterback, but they are not better than the Rams. The Rams, to me, are my NFC favorites overall. I mean, what they have on offense, if they stay healthy, right? If they stay healthy, what they got with that young D-line and what they're doing on offense, trying to defend those two wide receivers, plus Kyron Williams, plus Matt Stafford, and Sean McVay calling the plays, I wouldn't be surprised if I see them in the Super Bowl this year.
He definitely was leaning on the defensive side, and it was hard to ignore the defense last night with how well they played. But he did add that Seahawks-Rams this Sunday, we're going to learn a lot about what both of those teams are going to look like. Everyone disagrees with Pete Prisco. I feel like that's a rite of passage there. Let's talk about the Colts next here, Logan. Jonathan Taylor certainly has been, I would say, the best player in the NFL to this point. I mean, you look at what he was able to do on Sunday. He ran all over that Falcons defense. 244 rushing yards, 3 rushing touchdowns. That's the second most yards in a game in franchise history behind only himself. I could go on and on with the number of accolades that he's earned this year alone. Love it or hate it, Jonathan Taylor is cooking this year. He deserves the MVP.
I love it. He deserves the MVP. And let me tell you about 3 rushing touchdowns. I mean, that is so hard to do in the NFL. That's a great game in high school. That gets you ice cream after the game in Little League. To do that in the NFL, I would equivalent that to dropping 50 points in an NBA game. It's just not 3 touchdowns. That is very hard to do. And he's on pace to break LaDainian Tomlinson's record for most 3-touchdown games. And LaDainian Tomlinson, by the way, MVP season. So when LaDainian Tomlinson did this, he won the MVP. And for our younger viewers there, go watch some LaDainian Tomlinson highlights. I don't know how young our viewers are. Go check them out. He was a beast. He used to flip the ball. I used to do that in high school when I was getting 3 touchdowns. But I wasn't scoring 3 touchdowns in college. They switched me to DB full time. So the fact that Jonathan Taylor's doing this in the NFL is so impressive. And like I said, the only other person to do this won MVP. I know people other than quarterback can win MVP. Most players feel like this. Like, let's just give it to a different position every once in a while, a la Saquon. But I think Jonathan Taylor definitely gets it this year.
I mean, you see all the things that are on the screen there, what he's accomplished to this point. It's hard to believe that, knock on wood, barring an injury, he's going to slow down. He's been a lot of fun. And you know who else is a lot of fun, Logan, is our guy, Mike Tomlin. He certainly did not mince any words about his team's offensive performance last night. Before we talk about whether you love or hate the Steelers offense, I want you to listen to Mike Tomlin.
How would you assess Aaron's performance tonight?
How would you?
Next.
So the question's kind of hard to hear there for our folks at home, but basically the reporter asked, how would you evaluate the quarterback play? And Mike Tomlin's look says it all. Aaron Rodgers, 16 of 31, 161 yards. He had the 2 picks and, of course, the interception late. When it comes to the Steelers team lately, Logan, it's felt like a lot of the pressure has been on the defense. But for the sake of the experiment here, love it or hate it, the Steelers' offense is what's going to slow them down in terms of the postseason.
I hate that take. I have belief in Aaron Rodgers still. He is, out of the guys I've played against, he is a magician and a maestro at the line of scrimmage still to this day. And I believe that he will play his best football down the stretch as the weather gets colder. That's when playoff football makes the push. There's a big saying we used to have in New England that, the season doesn't start till after Thanksgiving. And I know the Steelers have had some collapse the last few years after Thanksgiving, but I believe that Aaron Rodgers won't be the reason they don't make it. Like, look, they might not make the playoffs, and that's because of what the Baltimore Ravens might be doing with Lamar Jackson. But I feel like that will be because of the Steelers' defense if they don't make the playoffs. I don't think it'll be because of the Steelers' offense. I just have belief that this guy will get them in the right play, and they'll run the ball better, and the play action passes as the weather gets colder in that stadium with that type of quarterback, they'll be harder to beat. But if the Steelers do not make the playoffs, and I'm not guaranteeing they will, it's because the Ravens get hot, which they are, and the Steelers defense is not able to play this type of football and keep the points off the board. But I still have belief in Mike Tomlin. I have belief in Aaron Rodgers. They're both good at their jobs, and they'll find a way to play well enough offense to be the reason they do get in.
Steelers currently sitting atop that conference at 5-4, but to your point, the Ravens with a healthy Lamar Jackson, anything can happen. Logan, it's always so good to catch up with you, my friend. Appreciate you breaking down some of our overreactions as we head into the second half of the NFL season. Make sure you hang out with us on Sundays, 8:20 Eastern for Game Day Recap. We bring the laughs, we bring the energy, we bring the takes like you just heard from our Pete Prisco. The Seahawks looking pretty good, but our Logan disagrees.